You know, as I get older, you start reminiscing and you're like, what has my life been worth? And for me, when I've had over 800 of these crazy statues, was it really worth it? Well, no, it hasn't. These are just painted pieces of rock and not really that important. However, one thing that's important is other people. And through this hobby, I have met hundreds of you personally and virtually. And some of you have been cool as shit, which is a good thing, even though shit's probably not very cool. Some of you are weirdos. And I thought, who are some of the coolest people I've met? Just so you know, if you were hoping that I would talk about all the people I've met in real life through this hobby and I was going to count down who was the coolest, not going to do that because that would be shaming some of you uncool people. You know who I'm talking about. Hey, my name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. We are giving away $1,000 statues to you guys. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, welcome to the Extreme Channel. Half of that intro was true. I was really thinking about, man, I've had an opportunity to meet a lot of crazy people in this hobby in a very good way, and it's been amazing. And it's what makes the hobby worth it. If it wasn't without those other connections, then honestly, it would just be you being a weirdo in your basement or your collection room looking at these statues by yourself. That's weird. So I've been very fortunate to meet a ton of you in person, a lot of you virtually, whether it was on live chats, meeting behind a 7-Eleven parking lot with my pants down, so many different encounters, and I just wanted to go through the 10 different encounters I've had with collectors. Now, first of all, this is not a countdown, so it's not going to be in any particular order. Second of all, I'm going to kind of summarize stuff. There are some events I go to where I'll meet 50 to 300 of you. And honestly, if I was going to try and lay that out in a video, I would probably forget somebody, and I don't want any drama. Oh, he didn't recognize me. It's honestly not because you weren't memorable. It's just because I forget shit. In fact, I had to write down the 10 I thought of right here. So before I go through my list, why don't you throw down in the comments below one of the coolest encounters you ever had with another collector? Was it behind a 7-Eleven with your pants down? Was it at an event? Are you waiting outside my house looking in through the windows? Throw that down in the comments below because you could win a statue. As we try to grow this channel, we like to reward you guys for watching and subscribing. So because of that, every 5,000 milestone when it comes to subscribers, we give away a couple $1,000s worth of statues. We've actually given away over 20 statues. To win one was easy. First, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You'll get bell notifications when videos drop. Each video that drops, you want to make a comment on those videos. We pick a random video, we give away statues based on a comment. You can say whatever you want. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. All right, so 10 different ones. First one I'm going to start off with is kind of cheating because I only had 9, so I had to create it to 10. But I got to tell you, I love going on other people's shows. I don't do a lot of live events personally just because I don't have the time. And I'm invited quite often to a lot of other live shows, but unfortunately my life just gets in the way. But when I'm able to jump on one, I always have fun. And I've probably been on 2 or 3 dozen different live shows. I absolutely love doing that, no matter the size of the channel, because it always seems like a great group of people, whether it's just one-on-one with another collector or many, many others on that same chat. Plus, it gives me an excuse to drink down here by myself, and I don't feel like I'm an alcoholic. So that's number 10. And again, these aren't in a particular order. If they were, this could be close to number 1. The next one, number 9, was the Queen Studios In Art event in Vegas. So first of all, this was amazing because it was in Vegas. Second, I got to meet a bunch of you for the first time. Some of you had met before and I got to hang out with again. And we did limos, tons of alcohol, got to hang out with Queen Studios in some suites, which for the record, we paid for the suites, not them. Learn so much cool stuff about the industry and see some kick-ass statues. This is truly one of the coolest events. And I really encourage you to go check out this video right here, this live chat. It was so fun. Whit, I miss you, buddy. And the other people that were there, again, I'm not ignoring you. By the way, Josh, do you wash your hands now after using the restroom? Just asking. Number 8, this one was kind of interesting. I've probably met, I want to say 2 dozen people where I live here locally in a parking lot, not behind a 7-Eleven with my pants. Well, I have, but they weren't collectors. But I'm talking about the 7-Eleven. Mostly, we meet in public parking lots to do statue exchanges. So I don't let a lot of people know where I live. I have a P.O. box in the bottom below. Obviously, I don't live at the P.O. box. And I do that for a lot of reasons. One is safety and security. 2 is it's just weird. I am going to go over some people later in the list that have been to my house. But I like to meet in a public place, especially when one of them is bringing money and I'm bringing a statue. And I've met dozens and dozens of people locally that every interaction is just cool as shit. I really appreciate them. And of course, we save on shipping and we don't break stuff, so that makes it even better. But usually a brief catch up in a parking lot is what it is. That comes in at number 8. Number 7 was my most recent StatueCon 2024, hosted by Collector Zone. This was fantastic. Had so much fun. I wish I could have participated more, but I had some other stuff that weekend going on in that same area. But otherwise, it was so cool. I met a ton of new people this time. I think there was only like one person I'd met that I'd seen before. I'd been on shows with people, but just everyone I met was absolutely fantastic. And some of these people I'd been conversing with for years and years and years, like Jason from S7 Customs, so many other great YouTube content creators out there. And you just grow to have a respect of, as cocky as some of us are, well, I'm cocky, but they're humble in real life, they're fun, and they just love to have a good time, and they love this hobby. Number 6, again, a kind of a cheater, is one for later this year. I am coming to New York ComicCon 2024. I'm bringing Mrs. X. I already have plans with a bunch of people on certain nights, so I would love to meet up with you. Throw down in the comments below. Feel free to email me if you want to connect. Maybe I'll just see you at the con, but we plan to have a lot of fun outside the con as well. Just kind of put it in perspective, we arrive Wednesday night. Thursday, I'm going to work remotely from my hotel room, and then we're staying in Manhattan, of course. And then Thursday through Saturday night is just fun as shit, sometimes at the con, sometimes not. I do have tickets to the con on Friday and Saturday, but I don't plan to spend the whole day there, just checking it out. And this will be Mrs. X's first actual Comic-Con, so it'll be interesting for that. Number 5 was New York Comic-Con 2019. That's the last time I went due to COVID. And unbelievable time again, and it wasn't about the con itself. A lot of connections there with people I had met before and people I've seen afterwards. You can see some pictures here of different personalities that you probably recognize from YouTube. Just an absolutely amazing time on so many levels. And I hope 2024 is just as fun. I'm betting it's going to be just as fun, if not better. Next few are people visiting my house or me visiting their house. First, Jerry. Jerry's probably been to my house definitely more than any other collector, probably 5 to 10 times. And every time he comes, whether he's just picking up a statue, dropping off a statue, or us hanging out, we have such a good time. It's so funny. We used to connect for lunch quite often before COVID hit, and then everything kind of just changed. But I always have such a good time with Jerry, and he's such a great part of the collector community as well. Has their own show, Collective Minds, on Sunday nights. Make sure you check that out. And of course, a guy I've probably seen like 10 different places, 10 different cities. I think we've hung out in New York, we've hung out in LA, we've hung out in Las Vegas, we've hung out where I live, and that is the Todd father from Spec Fiction. He slept in my house before. Yes, it was in my bed. So many fun stories of Todd, hanging out with Todd. Todd is fantastic. I discovered Todd very on in the hobby. This was before I think Spec Fiction even had a website. So him and I have just been fantastic friends. He's one of the few people, actually I think everybody from number 4 up on this list actually has my cell phone number, which only about half a dozen people in the community do, because again, I'm a very private person. But yeah, absolutely love Todd. And whenever we hang out, it's a blast. And I'm looking forward to hanging out when he opens his gallery in LA. Number 2 is when I visited the Gempire. So this was a trip I specifically made just to hang out with Gem. And we had an absolutely amazing time. We actually jumped on someone else's live. If you are wondering what was wrong with me, just think about what Gem does for fun, and then you'll know what was wrong with me. But had a blast. His collection was amazing. Super jealous of a lot of the stuff there. And him and I, we still text and talk all the time. We started our own channel, a joint channel that didn't work out. But always a blast with Gem, and love to have fun. And it's cool seeing other people's collections. So the last one here, I also visited Chris's house, Batman statue collector. This was his old setup, so I mean, someday I have to see his new setup. I'm sure I will, but always so cool to hang out with other people, not only who are in the hobby, but have been through the YouTube punches, and really enjoyed hanging out with Chris. I think that's the only time I've seen him in real life. He's actually tried to hit me up at my house a few times. But the timing just never worked out because he was vacationing where I lived, and the timing never worked out. But I'm sure it will someday because they come up here a decent amount. So 10 amazing connections, and I look forward to so many more that are coming. So again, if you would like to hang out at New York Comic Con and you're not a weirdo, you don't want to meet behind a 7-Eleven, throw that down in the comments below or email me. Otherwise, throw down in the comments below who has been your favorite meetup. And if you didn't like any of the people I met up, go fuck yourself. I liked them all. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Please drop a like in case any of those people get me for copyright infringement for using their picture. That way, at least I have a like, even though I don't know what I'm saying. See, in real life, I'm a lot sharper than I am on camera, just so you know. You'll find out.